access a web page. Why is it so important? I mean, anybody wants to answer that?
Nobody wants a slow website.
Yeah, nobody wants a slow website. We'll be turning away people from the website. So response time, some of the keywords that we normally talk about when we talk about this response time, availability of the site, that it depends on how important the site is. Like if it's a newspaper site, people are looking at it all around the clock. I mean, there are guys from the US who look at it, there are guys in India who look at it in the morning. So I mean, availability is very critical. And the third aspect is scalability. So here when we mean scalability, what we actually mean is that how does that site perform when there is large amount of data? When there are large users, I mean, does it perform as well as if there was just one user? Sites normally, most of our sites work really well when they're just accessing it via intranet. But then when there are thousands and thousands of users, does it still work well? What if there were thousands and thousands of nodes in the system? Does it still work well? And if we need to plan for, YSR's death, I think was one of the critical events when the Deccan Chronicle site went down, because there was a big spike in the user access, and the guys all, it was not at one particular time, people were accessing the site all the time. The next time on, we were better prepared. Our site was scalable. We could just add another server. We moved our database, we revised our configurations, and the site was running smoothly even during spikes. So that's scalability and performance. So as much as we write modules, it's very important that we understand these concepts and they are in our minds right from the beginning.
Good evening, everybody. When we talk about performance of our development side, we have three layers. So one is a user, which is a browser, and the second is the server side, which is Apache server configuration, MySQL server configuration, and the last page is our application Drupal side. Now here I am going to concentrate mainly on the application Drupal side, but I will give you a brief description about user end, that is the browser side. When you talk about the browser side, the key thing is the size of the page which is rendered. Okay, it's very important when we have a lower or smaller size of the HTML or any resource you are loading to render the page has to be very small, and the number of requests to get the render the page has to be very lower, and you must have enabled the browser caching. So if you have for a long period of browser caching, you will serve your customers, not frequently requesting the resource from the server. Okay. So for fine-tuning this purpose, I think we can use many. There are many online tools are available. One is the voice flow, which is widely used. Voice flow, which is installed with the Firebug. Okay, it shows the static. There is the Google page, home page. We have showing the static. There, to load this page, the 8 HTTP requests has been taken, and we have total weight of the page is 188 KB. The size of the data transferred to render this page. In that, they have split it. We have shown the size of the HTML. The HTML is whatever you written, the HTML elements is 15K, and your JavaScript file size is 123, and CSS images and favorite one. Okay, you can use this voice flow will guide us to improve our site performance by suggesting the providing a grading to our website. If you open this voice flow with your website, it will automatically scan your website, and according to the rules, it will give you the grade. And also it will give us the suggestion whatever area we need to look. For example, see they have the Google has a D grade. we have the first suggestion is make fewer HTTP requests. Okay, and there is other useful things as well, like use CDN, that is content delivery network, and then avoid MP, SRC and HRF. Is that Spice headers is the thing which you are depending the browser to hold the content caching and compress your HTML elements and the CSS and JSS files. You can compress the files to send the code easy. There is another technology called gzip which uses to compress the HTML content. And there are many suggestions. I think we all are very much familiar with this. And try to reduce the number of requests. If you have to have your site, you may have different JavaScript files loading from different plugins. Okay, and if you compress all the JavaScript files to a single file, it will help us to reduce the number of requests. And also same way, you may also compress CSS files. If you have a number of CSS files, compress to a single CSS file, it is able to reduce the number of requests. And also if you are using CSS and many images, please try to use CSS sprites, which is a technology which use single image, where we have all sort of icon images in a single image. Using CSS, we will position it in the appropriate place, so that our number of requests will get reduced. Okay, and also define the cache headers for every element, like CSS file, JSS and images. Everything you can define the header value. Okay.
So what the header value does is it lets the browser know when it needs to be refreshed and when it needs to be the latest version rather than work with the.
Also, if you are writing an HTML, don't use any unwanted HTML tags. That increases your file size, HTML size. Please optimize your HTML size with the required one. And also, if you are writing a CSS, don't write repeatedly any unwanted CSS. It will also increase your CSS file. Like in our Drupal, we have a theme folder where we have all our CSS files. Okay, actually, what we have to do is we have to load the CSS file for that page, the required CSS for that page only. You must not load the entire bunch of CSS for every page. Okay, that in Drupal we have many things like you have a function called Drupal add CSS. You can use it in your model when you write your menu callback to add your required CSS. Okay, so that you can avoid that CSS in the other pages. It reduces so that the CSS file size will be minimal. Now we move on to the next.
Yeah, so we're not touching upon the server side of it. The next few slides will be on Drupal and how you can.
Okay.
So how many of you have seen this page?
Okay, when we install the Drupal core has a mechanism as a page called a performance page, where they have given some few options to fine tune the performance. The first option is to enable the cache. This cache is the page cache, which is a feature given by the Drupal for the anonymous user. That is the not login users. Okay, when you enable this, all your pages will be stored in a database table, and when an anonymous user, the user who will not log in, are trying to access your site, will be served from the single table. Otherwise, the entire PHP program or model will be executed and all other required queries will be executed. Okay, when you enable, single table will be get called, cache table will be get called, and your content will be rendered from that single table. Okay, and we have other option to enable the blocks. The
blocks is actually in the last session we have seen about the block.